Good afternoon. I'm Josie Moore with Virginia Farm Bureau's Grain Division, and I'm bringing to you the Merchandiser Minute for Friday, July 26. The markets were a bit lackluster this week, mostly with buyers and sellers waiting for more information coming from the August reports from the USDA. Buyers are looking for more information on actual planted numbers, yield estimates, and demand factors. Corn closed this week at $4.14 for September, down 4, $4.24 for December, down 3. Beans closed at $8.83 for August, up 1. September was $8.88, up 1. And wheat closed at $4.96, down 3. December $5.04, down 3 also. Most of the country received a reprieve in weather this week, with a lot of parts of Virginia seeing some midweek rains. There are predicted showers in the Chinese plains, which could affect the market because we were counting on some dryness there. The U.S. spring wheat tour concluded this week, and they averaged 43.1 bushels per acre versus last year's 41.1 and a 44.7 average overall. This was a measure of about 356 fields in the Dakotas and Minnesota. The market facilitation program details were released just yesterday and generally were well received. The American Soybean Association itself was one of the organizations critical of it and wanting more of a trade deal than aid. With more than 25% of pork going to exports, the pork organization and other livestock producers were also looking for more diversified and open markets. The American Farm Bureau Federation President Zippy Duvall said, "We are grateful for continued support from President Trump and Secretary Perdue. American farmers ultimately want trade more than aid, and it is crucial to restore agricultural markets and beneficial relationships with our trading partners around the world." Speaking of the support package, Virginia, like a lot of other states, saw a large variation in payments, with the Greensville Emporia Cydia area being the highest at $97 per acre for the crops included, and 10 areas receiving the minimum of $15 per acre. The MFP sign-up at local FSA offices will run from July 29th through December 6th, so make sure to get out there if you're interested in those payments. They will all be made under the FSA authority, and they include a lot of products here in Virginia, including soybeans, wheat, corn. Dairy producers that were in business as of June 1st, 2019 will also receive a per hundredweight payment on production history, and hog producers will receive a payment based on the number of live hogs owned on a day selected by the producer between April 1st and May 15th. All of this information can be found on the USDA website. All of the payments will also come in 3 tranches, and when they come, the first one will be made up of either 50% of your payment or $15, whichever is higher. Export sales yesterday were great in wheat, but not so much in corn and beans. Wheat sales are up 63 million bushels compared to last year. Corn sales are down about 17% compared to last year. And the national average cash price paid to farmers on July 24th for corn was $4.17 a bushel, up from the harvest low of $3. Soybeans were at $8.23. Basis appears to be plateauing in many areas now that export logistics are in question. Across the board, crops appear to be looking better as they get taller. South America still has a large crop, and it's really attractive for exporters merely because the US dollar is still very strong, so they have more buying power when they go to South America. There was a report of Brazilian soybeans losing protein levels this week, so we'll have to keep an eye on that and see how that develops and how that affects their contracts. U.S. is headed to Shanghai for trade negotiations this week, but U.S. ag goods are said to not be the reason for these restarts, so we don't really want to count on those talks creating a big bump in the markets. The markets are really waiting to see actual buying, since Chinese crush plants have been offered a waiver for a lot of tariffs on soybeans, and they've chosen not to take up on that. Average below temperatures this time of year adding to the weakness in prices lately. For the weather, most of the country will be dry except for some light rains across the northern plains in the next 6 to 10 days. But there is a low odd of early frost so far this season, so we're hoping that crops really come in strong. And that's all I have for you today on Friday the 26th. If you have any questions, feel free to call into the grain division. Thanks and have a great weekend.